So hello student, in this lecture we have to see the properties of quantifier. In my previous lecture we already know what is meant by quantifier. There are different types of quantifier, uniqueness quantifier we have seen. Then the main two quantifiers, that is for all means the universal quantifier, and there exist means existential quantifier we already seen. Okay, now we have to see some properties of the quantifier in this lecture. Okay, the truth value of for some x p of x and for all x p of x is depend on both the propositional function p of x and the domain u. Guys, the value of this statement is depend on your domain and your function definition, whatever the function definition you got. Okay, see here, here you have an example. If u is a positive integer, means your domain is the positive integer, p of x is the statement. Okay, p of x is the statement x is less than 2. X is less than 2. Now tell me, for some x p of x, is this true or not? Definitely this is true, guys, because the value which are less than 2, which are positive integers like 1, for 1 this statement is true, and that's why this for some x p of x is true. But for all x p of x, for that this is false, because guys your domain is positive integer and in the positive integer 1 is also there, and for 1 this statement gets false, or 2 also, for 2 also this statement get false. And if in for all x, if you are getting for the any element the statement is false, then your complete statement is false. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Now next example number 2, if u is the negative integers, then p of x is your statement x is less than 2. Okay, then tell me there is some x p of x, this is true or false? Guys, x is the negative number. Okay, if you are considered replace this x with all the negative numbers, for those negative numbers this statement is true. Okay, and that's why for some x p of x is true. For all x p of x, okay, so guys if you replace this x with all the negative numbers, okay, then only this statement is always true. That's why for all x p of x is true. I hope you are getting my point, guys. If u consist 3, 4 and 5, okay, so now you have a finite set, guys. Okay, p of x is the statement x is greater than 2. Okay, this is your function definition. Now your set is finite, 3, 4 and 5, only 3 elements are there. Now tell me, for some x p of x, this is true or false? Guys, if you replace this x with 3, then in that case this is true. For with 4, then in that case also this is true. For 5, in that case this is also true. Okay, so you need not to check all these 3, because if you are getting in the first attempt 3 is greater than 2, in that case only this statement is true. For some x p of x is true, so you need not to check for a 4 and 5. Okay, see the next statement is for all x p of x. Now here you have for all x, so in that case you need to replace this x with all the elements, with 3, with 4 and with 5, and check that the statement is true or not. If you are getting this statement is true for all the elements, in that case only this is true. I hope you are getting my point. But if p of x is the statement x is less than 2, then there exists some x p of x, and for all x p of x are false. Guys, x is less than 2. Now there is no any element where you will get this statement is true, because 3 is also greater than 2, 4 is also greater than 2 and 5 is also greater than 2. In that case you are getting these two statement as a false statement. I hope you are getting my point. Now you need to check the precedence of this quantifier, guys. Means if any statement, if you got both the quantifiers for all or for some, okay, so in that case which quantifier you need to solve first? Okay, so that we need to see here. The quantifiers for all and for some have a higher precedence than all the logical operators. Okay, means if you are thinking about or, and, or not operator, or if then operator, bidirectional operator, so from all the operators, this for all and for x, for all and for there exist these two quantifiers has a higher precedence. Okay, for all x, for example, see here, for all x p of x or q of x. Okay, so guys, this is the statement. Then which thing you need to solve first? So you need to solve this first. For all x p of x. Okay, so you need to solve this. Means you are getting a true or false value here, and after that you need to do ORing with this q of x. Okay, so this is the higher precedence, guys. Now see here, for all x p of x or q of x. Okay, means this is the different thing. Okay, so guys, this is different and this is different. Okay, so don't do like this. Okay, first of all you need to solve this, and then whatever the result you got here, okay, you need to do OR with this. Okay, this is the different thing, guys. Unfortunately, often people write for all x p of x or q of x when they are mean for all x p of x or q of x. Okay, so guys, this is wrong. Okay, so you need to write like this. Okay, whenever you are getting like such kind of statement, you need to means reconstruct that statement like this. Okay, not like this. So you need to remember this. So the precedence of the uniqueness for the universal quantifier and the existential quantifier is always high. Now guys, this is very interesting part. Okay, how you can represent any English statement into the predicates or into the terms of the quantifiers. Okay, that we need to see here. See the example number 1. Translate the following sentence into the predicate logic. Every student in the class has taken a course in Java. Okay, so guys, you need to replace or you need to transfer this statement into the quantifier way, or into the statement, mathematically logical statement, or you can say that a proposition. Okay, so you need to convert this statement into the proposition where you can say the answer is true or false. Okay, so first, so there are number of solutions you can give. Okay, so solution number 1, see here, U is the all student in the class. Define a propositional function jx. Okay, so guys, your domain is all the student, because they are saying every student in the class has taken a course in Java. That's why your domain is all the student in the class. Okay, and your propositional function is j of x. Now what is the definition of this? X has taken a course in Java. Guys, x has taken a course in Java. This is the propositional function, and what is the definition of this function is x is taken a course in Java. Okay, so how you can replace this statement? Just you need to use for all x, j of x is true. Means if you replace this x with any student from this domain, from all the students, then it is taken a Java course. Okay, or those students are taken a Java course. That's why this statement is true. Okay, solution number 2 says here, but you hear the people, all people. Okay, so all people you need to consider here. Also define a propositional logic Sx. Okay, Sx is your propositional function. Okay, so what is the definition of this function that we need to see? X is a student in the class. Okay, so this is the definition of this. X is the student in the class. Okay, so to write this statement, what you need to write first? Okay, first of all, your x needs to be student. Okay, so this is the first condition, your x needs to be student. Okay, and then that student belongs to a Java class. And for all x, if this condition is true, then it means this statement is true. Okay, so you can represent this statement either this way or this way. It's up to you how you can write this statement. Okay, so here you are using a true propositional function s of x and j of x. Here just you are using only one propositional function, that is See the example number 2. Translate the following sentence into the predicate logic. Some student in the class has taken a course in Java. Guys, some student now they are saying. Okay. Now the solution number 1. So your domain is all a student. Okay, you is all a student. So you need to consider some student from that domain. Okay, so how you can write? There exists X, and those X enrolled into the Java course, or those students taken a course in Java. Okay, J of X, you already know J of X means what? J of X means X has taken a course in Java. Okay, and here we need to write there is some X which taken a course in Java. Okay. Okay, but if U is all people, then the translation is, guys, you need to satisfy both the condition now. Okay, means X needs to be a student and X has taken a course in Java. Okay, see here, X is needs to be a student and X is needs to be taken a course in Java for some X, guys. Okay, every student is not enrolled in the Java, that's why that's implications is gone. Okay, if you are writing S of X gives J of X, in that case what it says? It says like for all X means for all students has taken a course in Java. Okay, but we need not to represent that statement. Okay, we need to represent some students has taken a course in Java. In that case, for some X, those X are a student and taken a course in Java. Okay. So this is how you can represent any English statement into the propositional logic. Okay guys, so thank you so much. In the next lecture we will see some different topic. Thank you.